says, seems to me there was a tea party in Boston that was illegal too.
I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold.
We shall seek to establish and maintain a dollar which will not change its purchasing and debt-paying power during the succeeding generation.
As anguished shrieks rose up from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange.
Government credit and government currency are really one and the same thing. A reserve of gold and a small reserve of silver.
So, and I said, well, what if it does happen? And he says, well, price will solve everything. I said, thanks, give me the gold.
Why do central banks hold it? Well, it's a form of reserves. So why don't they hold diamonds? Well, it's tradition, long-term tradition.
Well, some people still think it's money.
Welcome back to the Junius Maltby channel. You're live on the extemporaneous ramblings of a madman, formerly termed the most boring channel on YouTube. I think I still hold that title. Still accurate description. We're broadcasting live, unscripted, here from the bunker. Gonna take a look at a thought that I had recently. I've actually had this thought many times over the last decade of this channel's life. It's a topic that I want to bring up today as we look at some news, discuss some news, but also I want to show you guys some silver, talk about precious metals, where they've been, kind of where they are right now, where they're going, and see what your guys' opinion, what your observations are, what your take is as you take part in the dialogue, the discussion here. That's what this channel is. It's always been, and that's why it was started. So I'm glad you're all here. Welcome to all of my friends, all of you. Hope you're having a good day. Channel members, Patreon members, those that are passing through. Go ahead and hit the like, hit the subscribe if you're not subscribed. The only way you can communicate in the chat and take part in that discourse there is if you are a subscriber. And it just keeps the spammers and the bots and the jokers out. So glad you're all here. Taking a look at some silver today. It's interesting, right? Crazy. News is remarkable what's taking place. Every single day, new things, new developments. The United States this morning, if you saw it, the executive branch, the dementia patient, the staggering old man who slurs his words and drools, he banned the importation of Russian oil. Okay, great. Way to put the pain on the people in the industries and commodities here in the United States and abroad. It's just going to make our problems worse. A friend of mine put something very, very well as we discuss these matters, because as you know, I've got a lot of different friends in different areas, different parts of the world, and one of them put it this way to me. He goes, Junius, the Russian people can shiver in the rubble of Stalingrad, living off of one potato a day, or half a potato a day, far longer than the Americans can remain uncomfortable in any way. They're used to it, the Russians. They're accustomed to it. So the sanctions, the economic hardships, the things that we're going to wrestle with that are already being compounded and will compound on top of an already existing inflation nightmare, economic nightmare, potential mortgage-backed security crisis, a recession, coming recession, and all of the things that brings. There's going to be some other problems, some other pain. That's not the topic today, though, right? Topic today is has not begun. Let me show you some silver. Now, what hasn't begun? Well, a lot of things have not yet begun. I'll tell you that. The pain, the suffering, the economic hardship, the real inflation that's going to hit, none of that stuff's hit yet. None of it. When I say, as far as for today's content goes and discussion, what hasn't begun, in my opinion, is the movement of metals. You might be thinking like, what? Junius, that's crazy. What are you talking about? What do you mean they haven't begun? Of course they've begun. They're moving dramatically. They're going up like crazy, right? I mean, we're seeing it. We're seeing gold up. It was up, what was it? 50, I think it was high as up like $60 earlier. I mean, it's up $50 an ounce in a day, 2.5%. Silver up $1.03, up 4% in a day at $26.74, breaching the 26 mark. It hasn't begun. I truly do not believe it is even warmed up yet. You might think I'm crazy, but that's okay. That's okay. I look at a lot of things. I look at historical trends, monetary policy, the economic facts and reality that we already talk about on this channel for a long time that we have pretty much become accustomed to. The debt to GDP, how many dollars are in circulation, the health of the overall U.S. economy and the world, the history of fiat, how it works, how long it's been around, the 50 years of the dollar, the breakdown of Bretton Woods, all of that, all of those factors and all of those things. Now, when I say that metals have not begun to move, I can honestly tell you that I sincerely, in my heart, and it's kind of weird when people say that, in my heart, I really do believe that. In the core of my brain, in my cerebral cortex, all right, where my thoughts originate, based on what I've observed, calculated, the things that I read, the experts that I listen to. You don't have to listen to me. Don't listen to me, as a matter of fact. Do your own research, right? DYOR. Do your own diligence. Don't listen to me. I'm not a financial advisor or an expert. But the guys that I trust, the economists that I trust, the economic schools that I rely upon for facts and things, I honestly believe, based on all of that, and my conclusion is that they have not even begun to move. As a matter of fact, if anything, they're stagnant still. Yeah, there's a huge cup and handle on gold charts, but overall, they haven't moved. They should have been at these levels, I believe, years ago. People think that's crazy. That's fine. Here's the deal. Here's the deal, gold bears. I'll just say this once right now. I might say it again, but I'll say it right now for sure. You guys are wrong. You've been wrong this entire time. I know for a fact there's gold bears out there that were throwing down short positions on gold when it was at 1950. Big ones. They're sweating right now. They're pale, they're cool, they're diaphoretic, their heart rate is elevated. They don't feel so good, bros. They got too cocky. The gold bears got too cocky. Same with the silver bears. You know there were some silver bears throwing down massive short positions on silver at $25. They're sweating too, because these aren't coming back. The buy orders are coming in, the volume is there, and the economic situation is pointing to the fact that this is going to be a long time coming. It's been a long time coming, and it's going to be a long time lasting. This is here. I've always said we're in a multi-decade bull run on metals. It's going to continue. People are like, oh, well, I'm not here for a decade. I need to get money now. Well, don't worry about it. You want to preserve your wealth, you'd be parked in metals. Because I'll tell you, the guys on Wall Street are hemorrhaging their purchasing power, their store of labor. What is their store of labor anyway? Where do they keep it? Markets have been getting beat up pretty bad. As you know, they've been down significantly. Today's been crazy. I believe the Dow was actually up earlier over 500 points. It's given up all of its gains, and now it's up 92. But we don't care about numbers, and we don't want to talk about them because it's boring. It's not what we're here for as far as the markets, the equities, and all of the securities and all that garbage. But it's part of the backdrop. We have to look at the headlines. We have to look at what's going on to really grasp everything else. You know, Russia warning of $300 oil, the blocking of oil coming into the country, the U.S. literally begging. The United States is groveling on its humble knees, begging Venezuela and Iran to sell them oil. It's funny, they've even acknowledged Maduro as a president, it seems like. So a lot's changed in the last 48 hours. A lot's going to change going forward. But now, let me show you why it is that we have not even begun to move. Now, you've been on this channel for a long time, right? All of you have been here for, many of you have been here for, 10 years at least. I know some of you have been here less. I know there's some newcomers that came after the Wall Street silver movement, and we got a lot of traffic then. So welcome. I'm glad you're here. We've been looking at headlines for a long time. Gold's breaking out. It's blasting above 2,000. We've been looking at headlines for silver. Silver rallying. Predictions about silver going higher. I've shared with you guys kind of the discussion regarding the silver mining costs and supply side issues. We've been talking about that for years, off and on. Every year or so, we do a video on the mining and production rates of silver, the costs per ounce sold. They're the all-inclusive costs per ounce sold, and what it takes to extract these metals, what the production rates are, what the demand is like, where it's going, industries that use it, electric vehicles, solar panels, all this different stuff, electronics, computers, you name it. We've looked at a lot of those things, the investment side, and then, of course, on top of that, the history of money, monetary policies, the Roman Empire, the Greeks, coinage, all of that. We tie it all together. It's kind of it all makes up the ideology of stacking and the ideology of precious metals. But again, back to what I want to talk about today. All of that stuff's background. All of it's important. All of it plays into what we're going to talk about right now, how it's not yet even begun. The purchasing power of silver historically is a big thing. We've talked about that a lot. The purchasing power of silver, what it used to buy, what it buys now. We're already seeing headlines for $3,000 gold. All right. I shared with you the other day, 3,700. Now you might think, well, we're talking about silver, Junius. Yeah, I am. I'm talking about both. I talk about both almost synonymously. I mean, it's just, to me, they go hand in hand. Really, they do. They follow each other. They're arm in arm. I shared with you the other day, $3,700 gold as a call. A lot of people making that call. We talked about that. How Russia, again, increasing its buying of gold, how they prepared for this. Inflows to ETFs and central banks. Bulls, this is funny because we saw this headline today and I shared it with you. It was even on CNBC. They're using the word accelerate. CNBC said that gold prices have accelerated. It's accelerated. Accelerate. Bulls hitting the accelerator and pushing gold price sharply up to record highs, towards record highs. I mean, massive, massive momentum in gold right now, taking silver with it as well. Again, we've been talking about this. Now I want to take a journey with you guys. Believe it or not, I do buy metals off of eBay. I've done it for years, and guess what? I've never had a problem. I criticize some of the numismatics on eBay. I think you can get had there. It can be difficult. But for example, every single bullion dealer that you guys use and are used to seeing has a presence on eBay. It's true. Scottsdale, SD Bullion, JM Bullion, APMEX, Monex, you name it. Most bullion dealers have a presence and have a storefront and sell metal on eBay. A lot of it. What's great about it, oftentimes, is the ease of the checkout process and the free shipping. Sometimes you're paying a little bit different premium, but sometimes it's actually the same. If you have eBay bucks or certain types of cashback or incentivized cards, payment systems, it works out pretty good. You do what you want to do. I don't have a local coin store. I live kind of a corn store. I don't have a local coin store. I live pretty rurally, and it's just difficult for me to find a place to buy metal, so I have to do different things to find them. A lot of you are in that boat. One of the pieces of evidence that I use to tell me that this is, well, there's a lot of them, but one of them to show me, and that I use to kind of gauge the temperature on overall silver consumption by the populace, by you and me and our neighbors, the people out there, is the presence of it online. How much is in stock? I always look at what's in stock at the bullion sites themselves. What do they have on hand? What kind of order potential can they fulfill? And also what's on eBay. eBay is a great place to look at what's available because you have to be able to sell it. Most of them have it. It's there. It's real time. It's listed, and you're going to get what you ordered. And you can scroll through and see what's in stock. So we're going to do that right now, you and me. Do you want to buy something on eBay? Do it. I don't have any connection to a single one of these stores. I don't even have anything on eBay for sale. I just go on there and I bought a little bit of silver today. I did. A little bit. Just a tad, just to kind of help the momentum, keep it going. Just a little bit. I bought a tiny bit. But I grabbed some. I did my own little Junius raid. Because remember, hashtag, the raid never ends. It never ends, and you don't need me to raid for you or with you or tell you to. You guys do your own thing. And many of you have probably been doing some raids recently as well. I would hope so. If you raided yesterday or the day before, you're doing pretty good today even. I think premiums are starting to move also. Unfortunately, my plebeians, they're moving. You're going to see it get worse as the demand tempo picks up. But remember, ask yourself this, what percentage of the population currently is buying metals? Can you think of it? Do you know? I mean, and I might get a little rude here to some people, but please don't take it personally if you're sensitive. If you're a Redditor, this might be a little harsh for you. But I'll tell you right now, I think the Wall Street silver movement lost some significant momentum. I think a lot of guys dropped off. That's fine. We expected that. We knew it. We called it. I called it early on. Took some criticism from some of them. They're probably not even buying silver anymore, but Nonetheless, back then when I told them they would quit, they criticized me for saying that. And I think they did. I think a lot of them have quit. They got disheartened. It wasn't instant enough for them. It's hard to keep people involved and motivated with the precious metals because of, it takes some pretty strong patience. And in this regard, the wealth will be the flow of the capital and the flow of the gold and silver from the impatient to the patient. Those who are holding, those who are patient, they'll be rewarded in the long term on this. It's a long-term hold. We already knew that. And we were veterans. You guys were stacking before this, quote, silver squeeze movement started last year and then subsequently dwindled out and faded. I mean, essentially, it was kind of like a flash in the pan. It just, in my opinion, has not gained even a lot of traction since. We continue to do raids here. We continue to do them, and we will. But I still don't think metals have moved yet because the masses have not demanded it, and they haven't really stepped in. They have not even begun to. Most of the people you see on the street, most of the people you work with, most of your family, most of the people in traffic, they're not buying silver. They haven't even looked at it. They don't even know what the price is. They're not paying attention, and they could probably care less. But that can and will and most likely will change soon. It does. It happens all the time like this in history. They're just not there yet. You got to give them time. You're still early. That's what's crazy. We're actually still early. And that's going to give you an idea where silver is going to go, what the potential is, I think, because it has not even begun. The prices have not begun to move. Even Peter Schiff has said we should probably be seeing triple-digit, multi-hundred or $100 moves in gold on a daily basis. Silver, you're going to see doing multiple dollar moves daily. And it could even get worse than that. Worse in the sense that it's increasing faster than that. I don't think there's enough supply to keep up because the supply of silver that exists currently is really built and become accustomed to meeting the demand of a very small part of the population, about 1% or so of the population that might buy metals. It's a very small market. Remember, I've done videos on market capitalization, the market cap of various things like metals, fiat currencies, different equities and bonds, and all these different funds and such. And when you look at how small the market cap, how much money is flowing in and out of metals and circulating in that pool, it's very tiny, minute compared to some of the other markets, especially the commercial or what we could call the retail side of bars and coins, bullion. Very small. Doesn't have a lot of room to flex for a sudden increase in demand. Let's say, right now we have 1% of the population really buying metals, and all of a sudden 0.5% more come in, or 2%, or 1%. It's just not going to be able to fulfill it. But I'm going to show you a clue here on why it's not begun. Let's just take a look where we're at right now. 10-ounce bar right here. Here we are. We're looking at a 10-ounce bar. This is on eBay, straight from Scottsdale Mint. They've got more than 10 available. You can see it right there. They've sold 1,089. So 1,000 10-ounce bars. That's 10,000. I don't know what that time period goes to. I mean, it could have been, maybe it's a year. I don't know how often they update that. Hey, Russ Jordan, I see the super chat. Sports, he says. Sports. Yes, Russ. Sports indeed. Thanks for the super chat, my friend. Thanks for the support. Thanks for, supporting this channel. This is just one. I'm going to show you some things here. We're going to take a journey. We're going to look at some silver. That's what today is. Let me show you some silver. So let's look at some silver. These are all on eBay right now. They'll ship within days. They tell you when you'll get them even. But here's the $316 10-ounce bar free shipping. So you're paying $31.69 an ounce for that. All right. They've sold 1,089. They've got more than 10 available. They probably have hundreds of them. But there's some bars right now sitting on eBay just like this. Lots of them. Lots of them. Now I go back here, and I can scroll through just Scottsdale store. This is just Scottsdale. 20-ounce bars, 10,000 of them sold. $600. So, 30 something bucks an ounce. 10-ounce bars, free shipping. 5,000 of them sold. And there's tons of these. I mean, there's a lot of these in stock. You call them, you place the order. I mean, you could put an order in right now. 10 of these bars you want. You could buy probably 100 of them. Oh, please enter a lower number. Okay, 10. Oh, they'll let you do 10. Let's see if they'll let you do 99. Enter a lower number. Let's do 50. Enter a lower number. Okay, 35. Can I buy 35? 36. So they want you to buy, looks like less than, maybe it has to do with their money. Maybe they don't have that many. But I think if you called Scottsdale, I think what it has to do with is they don't want people ringing up that much on here at one time without making a phone call. I think they want you to call because you're going to do a wire or something. But I can order 10 if I want. And 11 even. Good. I'm just checking it out. I'm just seeing how their program works on eBay. 13. So it's letting me order up to 13, 14. Let's see 15 again. Yeah, they're letting me order 15. Okay, so it stopped. There we go. Anyways, let's keep going. Let's look at these. There's a lot of silver. Scottsdale. I mean, Scottsdale's page alone is full. I mean, you look at their 5-ounce bars. You can just, what are they sold? 31 sold in the last 24 hours. They've sold 31 5-ounce bars in the last 24 hours. That's an interesting little ticker there. They got 9 available, it says. So, okay. They've only got 9 of these 5-ounce bars. Here's a little raid opportunity. I'm going to throw this in the chat. Why not? Hey, guys, go clean out Scottsdale's 5-ounce bars on eBay if you want. This is a spontaneous raid, right? Come on, get in there. Paste. There you go. I just put it in the chat for you. Never thought we'd do a raid today. Hey, Brick Dictator, my friend, my man. Always funny, always humorous. He says in Thailand there is no gold delivery business because nobody lives more than walking distance from a gold shop. They are in the grocery store too. You know what? Great point, Brick Dictator. Brick Dictator. I got a friend who was he spent a lot of time. He lived in Thailand, and he told me that very similar stories on the baht, the strength of the baht. He'd always say 50 baht knife, because he'd get these like 50 baht knives. And back then, I think 50 baht was like $2 or something. But they were so used to inflation there. As soon as people got paid in Thailand, as soon as they were given money for work, they turned around and bought precious metals with it. That's what they did. It's just part of the culture. And he experienced that back then. Now, this is cool. This is interesting. Again, I didn't notice this earlier when I was putting these up and setting this up, that the Scottsdale 5-ounce bars you see here, it's a great size. It's a beautiful size bar, really, truly. I mean, look at that. They built a little silver bar henge, Stonehenge, silver bar henge. 8 available. Looks like one of you snagged one already. I'm going to have to come back to this. Todd and Prepared, thanks for the super chat. Thank you, my friend. Lisa missed me yelling out, sports! Sports! Yeah, pay attention to sports. Don't pay attention to the price of metals. Stay asleep. Continuing on, I'm going to come back and check this. It looks like I'll throw this in the link again. We're going to clean them out. Come on, clean them out, guys. Let's do it. Come on, clean them out. There's no reason for these 5-ounce bars to remain. It's still 8 available. I'll come back and check it. If you go back to Scottsdale, though, they've got their stackers. They've got an incredible amount of silver on here. 100-ounce Scottsdale silver stacker bars here. We'll open it up. We'll just see what they got. Limited quantity available. They've sold 2,385 over an unknown or undisclosed period of time. But we've got a significant amount of silver sitting here right now. These are $3,000 a piece, $3,029. The reason I'm just using eBay right now is because I want to show you what in real time, what is actually directly available and people can look at and buy, and people do indeed. Again, there's a tremendous amount of just Scottsdale. We haven't even looked at other places yet. But this tells me to see this amount of silver online with it shouldn't exist. The day you log on and there's very little. Hey, Robert Treloff picked up a 5-ounce. Good for you, man. Good for you. Picking it up. When you come on here one day and you can't scroll through, look at this down here. What did that say? There's 8 pages like this. 8 pages. Let's go to page 8. Let's see what's on page 8. Still, I'm still scrolling through Scottsdale. And this is something, now we're getting into it from other people like private sellers and stuff, coin shops, other bullion dealers. But still, 8 pages of Scottsdale silver so far on eBay. Items per page, 60. So do the math. That's a lot of silver. There's a significant amount, and that's just Scottsdale. You look up monster boxes. There are some available, from Liberty Coin Shop, bullion exchanges. You've got monster boxes of Eagles. You've got monster boxes of Krugerrands. Now, again, a monster box being 500 ounces of silver. I have not seen how many are available, how many you can get. It's a good question. I don't know. Like if you tried to type in here, 20 monster boxes. Nope. You can order 5 or less. Please enter a quantity of 5 or less. Regardless, they'll let you buy 5 though. You could buy right now, log on, and you could effectively buy 5 monster boxes from this company. All right. So that's 2,500 ounces of silver available. Now, how many they have on hand? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But I do know that there is a significant quantity of silver online. Monster boxes full of maple leaves everywhere. Eagles. Old type 2s, the old type 1s and new type 2s. We've got, again, tons of silver sitting here. Literally, probably tons of silver sitting on eBay waiting for buyers. Some of them I've looked at, the same all week. I'll show you because I don't have one of these yet. I really want one, and I just haven't been able to get there yet. All right, I just haven't pulled the trigger. This is an actual bar I've been looking at. This exact auction. It's $350 though. All right, so it's a little bit of a premium, yeah, or best offer. I don't know what kind of offer this gentleman would take, but you go on here, you see a 10-ounce. It's a Geiger bar. These are pretty cool. I do not have one. I've always wanted one. They've got some pretty neat features to them. They're just an attractive quality bar. And they've got a little security tag and a security number right there, as you can see. On the one side, you've got the reverse on these. I believe this one might have it. You can see it under like a black light. It's somewhere on the silver face there. Just neat bars, right? The Geiger. Edelmetall Fine Silber. And these are, again, this is German silver, 10-ounce. Beautiful, well-made bars. Price, $399.99. This price has come up because you just saw it $350 when I opened it. It hasn't updated there. Earlier this morning, this gentleman wanted $350 for this bar. Now he wants $399. And I believe it is a coin shop, if I'm not mistaken. Sold as pictured. So you get the bar that is pictured. It says sold as pictured, a few spots in tarnish. Trying to see what it says about the seller. If I'm not mistaken, it's like a little shop somewhere on the East Coast or something, but it doesn't really matter. That's not relevant. The thing is, there's a lot of these bars online. A lot of 10-ounce Geiger bars. You got the squares, the rectangles. Again, here's one sealed in a wrapper for $356. You can see. Beautiful sealed bar. Geiger. Man, I want that. 10-ounce Geiger bar. You've got a lot of these. A lot of these are sitting on eBay right now. And again, they're legitimate bars. They're physical silver. It's there. And they're available to people who are interested. So again, there's so much silver. I mean, every bar you could type in. Yeah, the premiums are huge, but people are buying it. As a matter of fact, just to give you an idea, let me show you something real quick here. 10-ounce silver bar. I'm going to show you. We'll just go to auctions closing, and we will look at ending soonest. Look how many bids they've got. So this one's got 0 bids, but it's at $469. All right, so this guy wants a pretty significant premium on this JM Johnson Matthey 10-ounce bar. 28 seconds. So this one's not even sold yet. But again, that's a high premium. That's probably why. Let's go down here where we got some bids. So you've got $600, 29 minutes. This is 20 ounces of silver. These are Scottsdale bars, Wall Street Mint. It's that neat design you've seen. Struck. I believe they struck these last year, the year before. I think they're like 2020 or 2021 design. $600. So you're getting $30 an ounce silver with free shipping. $30 an ounce silver, free shipping, 29 minutes left. That's a pretty good deal. 2 10-ounce Wall Street silver bars. Let's take a look at these. I'm going to bring them up, actually. I'm going to close this out, make some room here. Close that out. Close that out. All right. So here you can see you get these 2 10-ounce bars. Well poured, uniform, beautiful, smooth. Look at the reverse on these is actually pretty smooth, pretty glossy. Just a quality bar. I mean, nothing. I wouldn't expect anything less from Scottsdale. They make incredible silver. I'll throw the link in the chat just in case. Again, in case someone's interested. Where are they coming from? These are coming from Scottsdale Mint, right here. I mean, if you want to see, I'll make that more visible so you guys can see it. Yeah, there we go. There we go. All right, transition. You can see right here on the right-hand side of your screen, about middle, that's the Scottsdale mark. So it's Shop Scottsdale Silver on eBay. And this is from Scottsdale. So direct from the mint. Here you go. You're getting literally $30 an ounce silver, free shipping. And if you have eBay points or whatever, this is not a bad deal. It shows you that's pretty much what silver's going at. This has 12 bids. So there's 12 people out there, or that's not true. It could be 2 people bidding, 6 times. There's 12 bids. There is, let's click on it. Usually tells you if there's different buyers. I can't do that. I'm not going to log in. So there's 12 bids regardless. Sometimes it'll show you there might be 3 or 4 people haggling over this, but it's stuck at 600. They've got 27 minutes left. We'll see. It might move, might not. Point is, that's what silver's going for. And there's a lot of it. There is some demand out there, a significant amount of demand, but there is still plenty of supply. Let's go back to, I'm going to refresh that again, see what the 5 ounces, if they move. 0. You did it. Boom. You guys see that? Look at that. You guys cleaned them out. I'm convinced you guys cleaned them out. I'm actually convinced. Look at that. It's down to, this was, when we started, there was 8 available. You guys just cleaned out 8 times 5. There you go. You guys took 40 ounces of silver right off the market, like nothing. It was kind of a mini raid, right? Yeah, you guys cleaned them out. That's it. There's no more 5-ounce Scottsdale bars because the Maltby clan just showed up in force. We did a raid. We raided your store and we took advantage. Good for us. Good for you guys. Solid work. Good job. Well, we took care of that. Now there's no more 5-ounce bars on Scottsdale's site. But you go back to, good job, guys. Good job, crew. My little pirates. You've got the 26 minutes left on these 2 10-ounce bars. Whether or not they're going to go for that, we know that. Whether or not someone else bids them up or there's a change, we'll see. Neil Shaffron, thanks for the super chat, my good friend. James Richter says 2 are mine. James, my man. Round of applause for James. He took 10 ounces of silver right off the market from Scottsdale. Good for you, buddy. Good for you. You probably will not regret that. Back to the markets. Back to the silver here on eBay. And again, we're just looking at Scottsdale. We'll look at some other stuff in a minute, but in the auctions, a lot of stuff here, still a lot of inventory. And I think one of the things that I believe is that when this starts to change, what'll tell me it's begun is when I log on here and it's like a riot. People are smashing windows with bricks, dropping the glass to get their hands on this silver. When it's a ruckus, when eBay's crashing because there's so much traffic, and when everywhere you go looks like what you guys just did. Look how fast you guys just cleaned this out. When it's 0 available all over the place, that's when we know, Houston, there's a problem. That's when it's uncatchable. But as long as the eBay and JM Bullion, ST Bullion, all the sites that we look at, as long as they're full and there's a significant amount of inventory, well, then there's silver available. There's not really a panic. The number of people buying it really hasn't increased that much. We got some time. It really, and the thing is, it's still moving pretty big. I mean, for us, as relative as that is, a dollar here, a dollar is a pretty big move for most of the people that have been involved in silver in just recent times. But there's going to be times where it's much bigger moves than that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if one day we're seeing $2, $3, $4, or $5 moves. Imagine that. Imagine the news, the press, when you start seeing $5 daily moves. You know, when it goes from 30 to 35 to 40 to 45 to 50 to 55 to 60 to 65 to 70 to 75 to 80 in just a mere span of a couple of weeks, we have an issue. We have an issue. And the demand will be so intense at that point. That's when I think you'll start seeing eBay struggle. You'll start seeing the bullion houses struggle. I mean, I already saw on, I think it was Gold Money or one of the sites that I was looking at this morning, it said, you know, expect delivery delays due to increased traffic and surging demand or whatever. It was, I forget what bullion site it was, but I was there this morning and in big bold letters, they're having an issue. They're having a huge increase in traffic and a problem keeping up with it. But even then, it hasn't begun. It's not everybody. It's not your neighbors. It's not your family. It's not the people you see at work or in traffic. The majority of people, 99% of the people, are not there yet. As inflation gets out of hand, as the currencies that we all use get worse, you know the story, you know the tale, you know what we're talking about and referring to, why metals are being valued more. It's because the currencies are dying. That's the true story. It's not because of Russia or this or that or COVID. You know, first it was the virus, now it's the Russians, now it's always somebody else. It's never their fault. No, it's the policymakers and the politicians, the central bankers, the fractional reserve chemists, the alchemists, the psychopaths, the schizophrenics. It's their fault. The warmongers, the neocons, the politics. They're the ones that are going to be responsible for the ultimate destruction of your currency. Now, the fact that you can even buy metal with paper trash fiat still is remarkable to me. That's, again, another reason I know it has not yet begun because, well, question, are they taking fiat for it? Okay, then it hasn't begun. If the answer to that is yes, then it has not begun. When they stop taking fiat or the fiat of your country, it hasn't begun. It has not begun yet. And that's inevitable. There will come a point where, again, like I've just told you in the past, there will come a point where no amount of fiat, no amount of paper trash fiat coupons, monopoly notes, or leper currency will acquire any amount of silver or any amount of gold. The doors will be shut. That transaction corridor, the on-ramp to metals via fiat will be shut. They'll put traffic cones up. This is not an exit. You're not allowed here. You cannot send your fiat here. Sorry. No deal. Now again, I'm going to go back to 10-ounce bars of silver. Look at the auctions closing, ending soonest. Just to show you once again, we looked at these 12 bids, 6 bids, 34 bids. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to take a look at this auction here. Take a look. This is how you know it hasn't begun. It has not yet begun. Am I looking right there? You see that? $2,963. You guys checking it out? 34 bids. That's 10 10-ounce Scottsdale stackers. That's 100 ounces of silver. You've got a little bit of the bidding war going on. You've got 34 bids, so there's some volume. There's some people really interested, really wanting these. 1 hour and 33 minutes left for that 100 ounces of silver in 10-ounce stackers. Shows you what the price of silver is, doesn't it? Again, free shipping on all of these. You've got some other bars on here, some pretty cool ones. You've got these 10-ounce bars here, Prospector, Gold and Gems, hand-poured. I believe I saw a lot of these on here. This is a 10-ounce bar for $2.95. It's got 2 bids and $5 shipping, so not a bad deal. $300. $30 an ounce, and you've got this 10-ounce bar shipped right to your door. Again, there's a lot of really cool bars. This Perth Mint bar right here. Look at this beauty. But again, it's at 0 bids. It's coming from Australia. Shipping's not specified, so I'm guessing that's going to be painful for a North American. But again, Johnson Matthey bar, 80 bids. 80 bids on this 10-ounce bar sealed in plastic. That's a lot of bids. 80 bids on this sucker. $337. Again, tells you these people are willing to pay $33.77 already for this 10-ounce bar. $33.77 per ounce is what that's going for. free shipping. So yeah, it's $33.77 clean. It's got 5 hours left. It might close a little higher. This tells me that silver is trading at around $33 to $36 an ounce. That's, to me, the value of silver currently. So, again, no one's paying the 26 or whatever. What is it? Where'd my CNBC link go? That's gone. I'll check it. I'll have to go up here. Make another one. We'll just keep it up there just to keep an eye on it. CNBC. Come on. See what they're trading at. Dow's up to 226 again. Okay, nice little volatility. Silver's at 26.73. If you guys can see that. I'm just checking in again real quick. 26.73, 26.75, up $1.03. But you're not going to see it for that. No one is selling silver for 26.75. Nobody. Not a single person. All the silver that we're looking at is clearing about $10 more than that per ounce. And people are comfortable with it. Again, scrolling through here, a lot of, and this is just 10-ounce bars, ladies and gentlemen. This is just 10-ounce bars, page after page. I mean, how many pages of 10-ounce bars are available? I mean, there is numerous 10 pages or more of 60 bars per page, 60 ads per page. Some of these being 2 bars or 5 bars or 10 bars. But there's a lot. Again, this is my point. This is the example. This is my evidence. Exhibit A on why it has not begun. It has not begun because there are thousands, literally thousands, tens of thousands of ounces just sitting on eBay for buy it nows and auctions with some traffic. Some of them, not a lot. Some of them, again, like this one, obviously it's a high premium, $46 an ounce. No one's buying that. Maybe it's just a collectible, antique, cool JM bar. But again, it's getting 0 bids. It ended. $46 an ounce. No one bought it. If it was 30, it would have been purchased if it was down further, if they had put it at a more, honest price. That's the free market, though. People are not willing to pay that yet. Of course, why would they when they can get bars down here for, $29 an ounce? All right. Silver rounds, I was looking at also tubes of rounds. So some people like tubes, silver coins. I didn't type it in correctly. I was going to look for all of them. But yeah, there's you got Eagles, Maple Leafs, the Krugs. What's funny is the Krugerrands come in 25. Silver Krugerrand. Watch this. There's a lot of these on there too. Okay, silver Krugerrands, 25-ounce tubes. Sell them for $860, $930, $813, $848, $999, $807. Phil Suttle, at what price do you think the panic buying will begin? That's a great question, Phil. That's a good question because that's exactly what will happen. They're going to panic, and they don't. At that point, they won't care what price it is. They'll just be like, "Oh, they're still taking fiat. I'm in." When it's parabolic or it's moving quickly, I think if we saw a couple. It's going to depend on a lot of the news, what the dollar's doing, what people are waking up to. We might be close. I don't know what that price is. Honestly, people could really freak out at 50. I think if the media started freaking out, that's all it takes. Once you get mainstream media involved or you get news stories hitting, and I think it would be hard to keep that under wraps. Hard to keep it as a story that you don't report because somebody's going to break the news. Once it starts circulating on the outlets and it's on CNN, MSNBC, ABC, NBC, Fox, and everyone's screaming, and Wolf Blitzer, we're in the Situation Room. Welcome back to CNN. You're on the Situation Room. My name is Wolf Blitzer. Today we're looking at the price of silver as it explodes on the international market. Back to you, Anderson. Once Wolf Blitzer, thanks Rolf for reminding me to do my Wolf Blitzer impersonation. Once Wolf Blitzer's talking about the price of silver in the Situation Room, it's over. It's done. Good evening, America. It's Wolf Blitzer. You're in the Situation Room, and we're going to look at the price of silver because the Federal Reserve has finally destroyed the U.S. dollar. Krugerrands, tons of them. Again, this is just Krugs. There are so many rounds, silver coins, other silver products, tubes of silver. You can buy 100 eagles, 10 eagles, 50, it doesn't matter. When you can't get these, here's the, who asked that question again? He threw his, where was it? Phil. Hey, Phil, I'm going to go to your question again because it's a good one. It's going to be a good one. I'll tell you when the price explodes, Phil. When you can't get it on eBay, it'll still be available somewhere, probably because some of these bullion stores sell on eBay when they stop doing that, when it's no longer on eBay, and when people who hold silver stop selling it. All the bullion dealers or just even the private side, the people, just regular, everyday Joe six-packs, you name it. And anyone out there who's got rounds like this who might be selling a little bit to make ends meet or for whatever reason they inherited grandma's silver coins, and when they stop putting them on there for whatever reason, whatever's circulating in the human consciousness, whatever's going on in the back of people's minds, whatever instinct or gut feelings people have, I don't know how you're going to term it. When it changes globally and the sentiment towards silver shifts and fiat's no longer trusted, faith dies. That's the day. When faith dies in fiat, when fiat currencies actually crumble to the point where people realize there's no reason to hold it. So they're buying bed pans and hammers. Remember that video I did a long time ago about hyperinflation? When people couldn't buy precious metals in Weimar, Germany, they went out and they were buying bed pans, hammers, nails, tools, anything they could to get rid of fiat. When people are truly panicking to unload their fiat into anything because it's losing value so quickly, every day is worse than the day before. Every day the price of fuel goes up, the price of potatoes, corn, wheat, barley, oats, soy, milk, eggs, beef. When all of those things are going up every single day, petrol, diesel, gasoline, when everything's going up because the currencies are dying and faith is lost in currencies, that is the day you will see the panic. It'll happen within hours of that. And it'll be evident, it'll be everywhere. It'll clear out. You know what'll happen? A lot of these vendors will shut these auctions down. We've seen that happen before. They'll just shut it down. Shut it down. They found out, shut it down. We have to shut it down. Shut it down. What is this? What is this? We need to shut it down. They found out. They learned the secret. They know the code. Shut it down. Close it off. Close the doors. Shut it down, Rolf. When they shut it down, it's over. And that's when the dealers literally say, we're not selling silver anymore. We're keeping it. I'm not going to tell you who they are or where they are, but I'm going to tell you a story that I talked to yesterday, again, from one of my contacts. He's a big silver and gold dealer, not large scale, but he's one of those guys that buys from bullion, like the big bullion direct, large quantities of metals, and then puts it in a storefront, an LCS, and he moves it. He doesn't live near me, but he's a friend, very good friend of mine, acquaintance for a long time. Russ Jordan, real quick, thank you for the super chat. He goes, 2 motivators for price action are greed and fear. Absolutely, Russ. Great point. Fear is by far the greater motivator. Wait until the panic sets in. That is a perfect assessment, Russ. That's true. Fear and greed. FOMO, fear of missing out. It's both, even combined, and wanting to be included. A lot of people aren't going to have a logical or an ideological reason for buying metals. They're just going to do it because they're panicked.
People have to get through the toilet paper phase
first. They're still gobbling up toilet paper, right?
And then they'll get to the metals.
Thank you for that, Mrs. Maltby.
I just want to let people know the timeline, that's all.
It's witty. Toilet paper. Is there anything in between toilet paper and metals that people panic for?
Probably cannibalism.
I would think it would be like toilet paper, beans, a few. I don't know. There might be a few other things people bought.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
People are weird though. People are again, and the thing is, we're in different times. People are much dumber today. They're not as educated. I would say that they're less adept at navigating this type of geopolitical and economic.
Just pay attention to what people are looting. First it'll be TVs, but when they start looting food and necessary items, then we might be in for a shit show. Well,
I know I've seen the articles about Walmart wrapping red meat and meats in like chainmail. Have you seen that? That's true.
Yeah,
Look it up. They're like securing it to where in order to unwrap your meat from its chainmail cage, you have to pay for it and scan it out, kind of like a security tag on items in stores that you've seen in the past. the teller has to take it off for you.
A lot of people are saying seeds, but the only reason why I disagree is because most people are not smart enough to handle seeds. They live in apartments or they live in the cities. They wouldn't know what to do with seeds. They would probably
I think rural people definitely will.
Seeds
but
on top of their
seeds are an awesome idea.
We're not talking about people like us.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
We're talking about the normal population. So I don't think it would be seeds following toilet paper. I saw
a weird distraction, but you brought it up. You made me think of it, Mrs. Maltby. It's called ARC seeds, and I actually want to look it up with the I've never been to their site. A friend of mine sent me a thing the other day, and in it was a photograph, but it had a picture of this tube, and it was called ARC seeds. I've never looked it up, and I've been meaning to go check it out, the company, and just see what it is. ARC seeds. They're like yeah, there it is. It's like a company, Seeds Official ARC Survival. It's like a company that makes. No, that's not it. They make like tubes, heirloom seed kits. Here it is. Heirloom seed kits, ARC seeds. This is it. This is exactly what my friend just sent me a picture of. And I've been meaning to look, because you just brought it up, Mrs. Maltby. I want to look at this. So this is ARC seeds, agricultural resource kits, heirloom seeds. Looks like a bunch of different seeds, heirloom, in little Ziploc bags in this piece of PVC tube. Harvest nutrient-rich seeds for years with the ARC all-in-one kit. Order today, $2.59. But it's got tons of seeds, it looks like, in this tube. 50,000 total seeds in this little tube here. They got a little backyard kit. Okay, there you go. That's kind of cool. You know what? Just for you guys, because you're part of the Junius Maltby channel, I'm going to throw this link in the chat, just in case, if you're interested. I have no connection. They don't know who I am. I don't know who they are. I promise that's the first time I've ever been to the site. That's why I had to look it up. But Mrs. Maltby, I think, yeah, if people start gobbling up other stuff, some of you in the chat said seeds, Mrs. Maltby said toilet paper and things, there's all kinds of food, weird items.
There was a discrepancy. When I was referring to what people are buying, I was talking about your normie NPCs.
Yeah.
You guys are obviously throwing down the right things to buy, but I was more referring to the normal general population who will panic after toilet paper buying ends.
Yes. And Brick Dictator says he's all in on fidget spinners.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, fidget spinners. You want to
I forgot about those things.
Yeah, you want to stock up just in case. That might be a barter item, right? I don't know. That might be a barter item, or just kidding. Yeah, remember those were a fad.
Somebody earlier said alcohol.
Alcohol, tobacco products. Yeah. People are gonna do desperate things when they can't get their fix. Coffee beans would probably be a good thing to have vacuum sealed and stored away. Back to metals. I know we're getting crazy. We got out of control. We get distracted. The whole point of this video today was it has not begun. They haven't begun to move. And again, I wanted to address it because I know people think when I say that it has not even begun. They're like, well, how can you say that? Junius, silver's up $1.11. It's up $1.11. Gold's up $52 today. How could I say that it has not begun to move? What else could you want? How are you crazy, Junius? What are you asking for? What do you want it to do? What do you expect? I'll tell you, I expect more than 52. I expect more than $1 out of silver. That's what I expect, and that's how I know it's not even moving yet. How do I know it's not moving? How it's not even started? How it hasn't even begun? Because it's still available. Imagine the prices of these metals when you can't get it anymore. That's the part that you should think about. Or if it's half as available as it is now. Again, less than 1% of the people who are awake are even buying it. There's no real volume or pressure on it. It's still being heavily controlled by the paper side, the COMEX market, contracts there. All the corruption, the spoofing of prices, the big banks being involved. When the big banks collapse, they can't control it. When there's big problems on Wall Street, it gets worse and worse and worse, and the fiat's dying, and the panic sets in, that's when it's going to really begin to occur. When all of the vendors we just looked at, and page after page after page of auctions and buy it nows on eBay are deleted by the vendors, by the sellers, by the bullion fronts. When they start deleting their ads and removing them because they don't want to sell their metal, that's when you're seeing a problem. When the bullion stores online reduce their inventory on purpose and say, we don't have any in stock, it's out. or they don't want to sell it at all. They no longer want to take fiat. When they close those doors, you've got a problem. Now I forgot, and because we started talking, I wanted to, I have to share this from my friend I was talking to yesterday. Again, he owns a bullion store, an LCS, a local coin store, just like all the ones you've ever been in. Has bars, has coins, has all that stuff. They bought 5 monster boxes for the store at the beginning of the year. I believe it was 2,500 ounces of, and they basically cut the bands, and then I think they might have sold 1 or 2 of them whole to other people, buyers, but they were selling either the tubes or the rounds themselves individually. They're gone. They're all gone. They're all gone. So they sold most of all their rounds are out. They moved all their bars into the back. One of the guys that runs the store and owns it decided that he wasn't going to sell any more of the silver bars. He took them all for his own personal, and he paid for them. It's his store. He can do whatever he wants. He's keeping them. He's not even going to sell them anymore. He's selling other stuff, keep the lights on, but he removed a lot of the silver bars for himself. He told me yesterday that in order to restock, now this is obviously different than some of the bigger guys who have more weight, but for him at his level and with his influence, he's been told he cannot restock most of his bullion for a long time. I believe, let me look, I'll actually look and read it right now. We were actually talking, and I'm going to see what he told me. I think he texted me as far as what the inventory was. When I asked him this morning, he said that, he was told that it's a delayed delivery of an unspecified time on all metals from the biggest, those are from the bullion dealers that he buys from. They gave him an unspecified, they just said, look, delivery will be delayed for an unspecified amount of time if you buy anything or if you want to buy anything to restock your store. His inventory has been depleted. A lot of it he's moved away for himself, and he's having a problem resupplying it. Now, that doesn't mean this is happening everywhere. I know that, and I get it. And I just showed you why it hasn't even begun. It might be isolated. It might even start regionally in other places first. Depending where you are, depending where I am, even country-wise. Some of you, this is an international channel. A lot of you are in other places. So it might be different for somebody who's in Australia than it's going to be for me. It might be different for somebody in Europe than it is for me. But I can tell you, it'll start sporadically and dispersed around the world. It'll move to your region, maybe happen locally. You'll start to see it more consistently. Maybe it's in the news, maybe it's being reported. But eventually, as we discussed and termed it earlier, the panic and the fear will set in. The demand will set in. The surging demand and the disruptions. And then you'll know when the price starts to react to all of that and move that indeed it has begun. Then, only then has it begun. But it has not begun yet. I haven't even taken a journey over here and showed you guys yet JM Bullion or SD Bullion or AppMax or any of the other pages. All the pages we see on this channel when we do raids, I have not even looked at today. But they have inventory, and they've had it a while. There's been times we've seen it dip. We've seen supply disruptions. We've seen depletions in the availability of silver on all of those sites at times. But right now, we see a stable and I'd say fervent demand for silver at about the $33 to $36 an ounce range. How did I come up with that? Very simply, that's what it's selling for. All over eBay, all the time, right now. It's going up. It's definitely climbing. I believe it was about $28, $29 an ounce just a day or so ago was the selling amount for a lot of these bars and that we're looking at. And we've seen an uptick. We're seeing an increase in premiums. I'm seeing vendors change their prices. I don't know if they have like an automatic thing that does that. I've always wondered, like, how do they, because I've done eBay, like, do they have to go in and edit these? I don't know how, as a big seller, they operate the software to where it updates the price of the metals to keep up. Like if silver spiked to $40 an ounce right now, how quickly would the ad I'm looking at for this bar from Scottsdale, how quickly would it react? That's a question I would love to have answered from eBay. Like how fast would this adjust? If I snap my fingers and silver went to 40, how fast would this ad change? I don't know. But I have seen a steady increase, obviously, in premiums and in all of these. Now, again, if you go to Scottsdale Silver and we just click on ending soonest. We could take a look at some auctions that are clearing out. And it gives you a sense. Again, these are auctions. This is the free market in action. Free shipping. What's it selling for? $160, $150 for a 5-ounce stacker round. So you can do the math on this. Again, here's 50 ounces of silver, 5 10-ounce stackers, 6 bids, $14.86, 48 minutes left. Oh man, I've always wanted one of these. These are great. You can actually beat somebody with one of these. It's like a silver baton. It's like a weapon. Look at this. These little 20-ounce guys. They're nice. It's like a stick of silver. You could just go to sleep.
If you're really motivated, you could really
go to sleep.
With anything.
You could, but a 20-ounce bar of silver, definitely. Again, a lot of silver on hand, a lot of bids getting thrown down. The price of silver obviously higher than what we're seeing quoted on CNBC for the paper and the big COMEX bars and such. People that want delivery, people that want physical silver, they're paying the prices that you're seeing here. That's why I know it hasn't begun. Eventually, it's not going to be the case, ladies and gentlemen. It won't be on here anymore. And I'm waiting for that day when I can do a broadcast live and come on here and we go onto eBay and there's no silver. There's no gold. You go to JM Bullion, you go to the websites, SD Bullion, APMEX. Almost nothing. They have dust bunnies and empty pallets on their warehouse floors, and they've told their employees to go home because they're no longer needed. Their shipping departments shut down, the conveyor belts are still, the lights have been turned off, and the phones disconnected. When that happens, it has begun. Until then, you stack hand over fist, you buy like your life depends on it, you empty your bank of fiat, you distance yourself from fiat, you lessen your exposure to fiat, and you get rid of your fiat trash as quickly as possible into things like gold, silver, groceries, food, lead, brass, and that which eats it. You know what to do. Keep stacking, keep preparing, brace. Keep your eye on the news, your head on a swivel, look around what's going on, and don't listen to the mainstream media. Do your own research. Look at alternative news. Try to get a VPN. Look at news being broadcast from other regions. Do not listen to the United States media, the military-industrial complex, or the evildoers, the schizophrenic, warmongering neocons, the Democrats and the Republicans. Those insane individuals who have brought us to this precipice, brought us to this place. It's their fault. Both parties have been in charge for over 100 years. Come on now. They've both taken turns destroying this place. They've both destroyed the currency. They've both lied us into every single conflict we've ever been in. They've bombed other countries. They've inflated the dollar. They lied to us about the last incident, the virus. They've lied to us about everything. They've made cover-up after cover-up after cover-up. They've poisoned people, bombed people, imprisoned people, done drone strikes on people, and lied. They're dishonest, evil psychopaths. You cannot believe them, and yet they demand that you believe them now.
And at the end of it, they put a little fact checker bow on top of all their bullshit and lies.
Anything that, yeah. And whatever the fact checkers tell you, the opposite is likely true. Do not listen to them. They lied to you about inflation. They said it was transitory. It was not. They lied to you about the vaccine. They lied. It's true. The facts and data's out. The science, everything they told you is a lie. Stop believing their lies. And like an investor, like a wise and smart, brilliant person, position yourself knowing that they're lying. Because if you know the lie, then you know possibly what's true. And you can make some bets on that. And you'll make it. You'll do better because of it. Thank you, Kevin K., for the super chat. He goes, don't worry, Brandon. The Z is transitory. The Z is transitory. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, keep your eyes on what's going on. And strong work to all of you. Strong work to those that helped clean out the 5-ounce bars from Scottsdale. You guys are solid work there. Yeah. Let them know that the Junius Maltby channel was here. We did this. Good to see all of you. I'm going to let you go. Spend some time with the lovely little wife. Take care of yourselves. Have a good rest of your day. And remember, it has not yet even begun. It has not begun yet, but it will. It will. It might not be tomorrow, but one day it will be tomorrow.